Kia ora, I'm Emma Dent and this is the second episode of the Video Weekly Diary series. We will kick things off with our weekly recap. We had a total value traded of 1.2 billion, with 63% of that value traded on market and a trade count of 192,000. We also had a record number of trades on Friday with 45,509 trades over the day. The S&P NZX 50 fell 6.7%, closing the week at 11,261. Friday was also the last trading day ahead of the MSCI rebalance that is effective from today. An MSCI index is a measurement of stock market performance in a particular area. MSCI, like other indices such as the S&P NZX 50, tracks the performance of the securities included in that index. We generally see an increased level of trading activity as fund managers adjust their portfolios ahead of the rebalance effective date. Further information on the weekly recap, including the value and volume of NZX top 10 securities, can be found in the weekly diary. Moving on to our highs and lows, Blackwell Global holdings were up 16%, Chatham Rock Phosphate were up 6%, and Chorus were up 4%. On to our lows, SmartPay holdings were down 34%, Bliss Technologies were down 21%, and the Warehouse Group were down 20%. Next up are our notable events of the week. As you will all be aware, coronavirus is being heavily discussed at the moment. We saw an increase in both volatility and in value traded as investors adjusted their portfolios to account for the impact of coronavirus. This volatility was not isolated to the New Zealand markets, as global markets fell throughout the week, with the S&P 500 down 11% and the ASX 200 down 9%. Last week also marked the end of the first reporting season of 2020. This year we had 90 issuers release announcements updating the market on their performance across a 6 or 12 month period. On Thursday, A2 Milk reported a 21.1% jump in first half net profit and said the scale of its infant nutrition business meant that it was now looking at additional manufacturing capability. And finally, the week ahead. Markets will be keeping an eye out for any new information on the impacts of coronavirus, and meanwhile locally a number of NZX issuers have announced corporate actions that will be processed in the coming weeks. Check out the weekly diary for information on upcoming payment and record dates for our issuers. The next big NZX results season is for issuers with a 31 March balance date, and these results will be released in May. The NZX reporting calendar can be found in the links below. That was episode 2 of the Video Weekly Diary. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out the links below for more information, and we will see you next week.